Hello, thanks for joining us. My name is Josh Planos. I serve as the Vice President of Marketing, Communications, and Public Relations here at the Better Business Bureau. And me and my colleague, Jenny Tikeski, our Programming and Communications Manager, we oversee our recognition programs here at the Better Business Bureau. And those involve a few different types of awards. We have our high school scholarships. We give out $40,000 in annual scholarships each year to graduating high school seniors in our service area. But I would guess that why you are here today is we also have a Torch Awards for Ethics program and a Spark Awards program. So we're going to go through both of those programs today. I'll try to make it as brief as possible, but we appreciate your interest. These are some of the more fulfilling initiatives that we oversee, each and every year. The Torch Awards has been around for nearly 3 decades now, so there are a lot of folks who have applied for this award in the past, earned this award in the past, and continue to support the initiative even as we move into 2026. So again, very glad that you are here, and hopefully we'll be able to answer some of the questions that you have about the programs. So here's a quick look at our service area. We serve 5 states. We call ourselves BBB Midwest Plains, but effectively, we do everything we can to ensure that people in South Dakota are competing against other people in South Dakota, people in Nebraska against other people in Nebraska, and to ensure that there's equitable access to these awards programs to the best we can control for that. Why would you want to win one of these awards is a question you might have. I think in a time when folks have a lot of challenges knowing who it is that they are working with, challenges knowing if a company is reputable, the opportunity to win an award engineered around ethics and integrity is an unbelievable differentiator and something that most companies would happily sign up to have kind of on their mantle, but also in their back pocket anytime they're dealing with either current or prospective customers. There are a lot of awards programs out there that award profitability, popularity, or growth, all of which are fine things and things that most businesses are after. But this is really the only award of its kind that seeks to highlight integrity and ethics, which increasingly is what consumers want from the businesses they frequent. This is also a very helpful recruiting chip if you are interested in hiring. To be able to say that your company earned a Torch Award for Ethics or a Spark Award from the Better Business Bureau is not a small thing. That is something that a lot of folks again would really like to have, and this is a great opportunity to potentially earn that. So today we're going to start with our Torch Awards for Ethics program. Like I said, this has been around for nearly 3 decades. 1995 is the first year we have on file that we provided this awards program. We used to call it the Integrity Awards. It was rebranded to the Torch Awards for Ethics, but effectively had the same exact criteria throughout the entirety of its tenure as a program that we offer. So the Torch Awards for Ethics are this is a program meant to highlight businesses that lead with integrity and that have experienced and demonstrated ethical decision making. And we'll get into some of how that is actually applied once we get over to the prompt and the questions that you'll be asked to answer on the application front. One of the reasons why we moved over to the Torch Awards for Ethics format is because it also allows for the potential to compete for an international version of the award. There are Better Business Bureaus all throughout North America, and many of them have Torch Awards for Ethics programs. So, if you are to earn a Torch Award for Ethics at the local level, you will automatically be entered into the running for an international Torch Award for Ethics. Why do I bring that up? Our service area in particular has a very strong track record of having success, not just locally, but internationally. So in the past 2 years, there have been, let's call it less than 10 international Torch Awards for Ethics that have been awarded across all of North America. And half of those awards were earned by businesses within our service area, which I would say is really a testament to the quality of businesses that we have here in the Midwest, but also a testament to how, our local program has, nurtured some of these businesses to do business the right way and to ensure that their application is not just notable on the local or regional level, but on the international level. So there aren't many opportunities to compete for an international torch award, but this is a program that allows for that, provided you're able to earn, a local award. And we have a strong track record of people succeeding both locally and then going on to succeed at the international level. So again, here's kind of a rundown of who those businesses were in recent years who went on to earn international torch awards. We had Thrasher Foundation Repair out of Lenexa, Kansas. We had Omaha Steaks, Yex Automotive Repair, Vision to Voice, and Woodman Life. So I bring up these photos on the right side of the page specifically. On the bottom right corner is Yex Automotive Repair, and this was their watch party for their 2025 International Torch Award for Ethics win. And above it is Woodman Life. Woodman Life has hundreds and hundreds of applicants, right? Has been around for dozens and dozens of years as a company. Yex Automotive Repair has been around for a while, but is a much smaller outfit, right? This is in terms of like the classification of uh, award categories. These are the two uh, uh, most different extremes. Woodman Life represented companies with more than 500 employees, and Yex represented the smallest class of business that could compete for the International Torch Awards. Both of them won, right? So I bring this up because these are both wildly different industries, but also both success stories and a testament to this awards program being for everybody. We have had people win torch awards in pest control and insurance services and banking and automotive repair, you name it, right? There's really not an industry that is excluded from the torch awards. So if you are a prospective applicant and you find yourself thinking, gee, I don't know if our company really fits the bill or if our company could be recognized at something like this, I can assure you there is space for your industry, for your company, and there is likely a precedent in, the 3 decades of experience that we have with this program of a company just like yours earning success for this because integrity and ethics are not specific to any one industry, right? This is something that is widely applicable, widely useful, something that consumers want from cleaning services and home repair and kind of everything in between. There are a lot of benefits to winning Torch Awards. We have a media kit to be sure that we send out to all of the winners. That includes, social graphics and emblems that you can put on email signatures and on your website. But there are a lot of things that folks have done that are in addition to that. Thrasher, for instance, held, an all-staff kind of lunch and cake event, for their company. Another company printed the decal on cookies and handed those out. People have worked it into vehicle wraps. We send out window clings. People have made social graphics. People have taken out print ads. There's a lovely trophy that all recipients receive. So just know that there's a lot of things that go into it outside of the obvious benefit of being able to casually mention to customers that you are a Torch Awards for Ethics winner. So here's some information about eligibility. We require that applicants have been operational for 3 years or more by September 1st of 2026. We just do that to ensure that we have enough of a proven track record for the company to justify them earning, kind of a milestone achievement. We also don't have the ability for folks to earn the Torch Award in successive years within the same service area. There are a lot of awards out there where you can hear about somebody being like the 18-time winner of a certain award or 18 consecutive wins in this category. The Torch Awards is not like that. we try to take a 5-year break for winners to ensure that we are bringing in new blood, new types of business, new entrants into the field. And so we have a 5-year waiting period within our service area. Now, what that means, though, is if you are a winner in Omaha, let's say, for a torch award 2 years ago, yes, you would be ineligible to receive that award this year. However, if you have a physical office in Lenexa, Kansas, or in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, you could apply within that region. So, and be eligible immediately. The reason being, the staff that is contributing to Omaha is probably different than the staff that's contributing to Lenexa or to Sioux Falls in this scenario. So I would encourage you to reach out if you have any further questions. I know that can get a little bit confusing, but what we are trying to do is ensure that folks who have a strong cultural bed in one market don't feel like the strong cultural bed that they have in another is excluded because they won in that first region, right? So another requirement, you need to be within our service area, which again is Iowa, Kansas, Missouri, Nebraska, or South Dakota. You don't need to be BBB accredited to apply, but you do need to be in good standing with us, which we have categorized as classified as a B rating. So it doesn't matter if you're accredited, but you do need to be at least B rated to ensure that you're really that you have the potential to earn this award. If you're a nonprofit, we do ask that you provide an IRS documentation or United Way documentation to ensure that you are a 501(c)(3). And then one thing that we are very proud of here is that there are no fees to apply or receive an award. I think it's sad that there are financial restrictions for a lot of awards out there. There are none with this, right? There is no you need to pay to attend the event to pick up the award. You need to pay to even submit your application or to be able to market your success in this awards program. There are no fees. So just know that going in. And hopefully that is an encouraging sign for those of you who are interested in trying out in this program. I mentioned equity earlier. The way we try to create equitable, competitive spaces is by categorizing businesses based on the number of employees they have. It's imperfect, to be sure, but it's closer than certainly, it would make a lot of sense for a business with 2 employees to compete against a business with 500 or more. To go back to that Yex Automotive Repair, Woodman Life example, it would make no sense for, a business with, 10 employees to compete against a business with 1,000. So the categories are shown there on the screen. 1 to 4 employees is one category, 5 to 10 employees is another, 11 to 24, 25 to 99, 100 to 249, 250 to 499, and 500 or more. We also have 3 different charity categories, and that's 1 to 24 employees, 25 to 99 employees, and 100 plus employees. In recent years, we have rolled out a woman-owned and veteran-owned torch award for ethics. So nothing really needs to be done on that front. We do ask for 51% representation of that group to qualify for the woman-owned or the veteran-owned torch award for ethics. But it's the same exact application form. It is simply a box that you check during the application process where you indicate if you are majority woman owned or majority veteran owned that would qualify you for that competition. Again, everybody is recognized at the same event at the same time, but this is a way for us to ensure that there's visibility and a spotlight on the businesses that have kind of unique circumstances or distinguishing traits. So those are the categories that we have. There's nothing you need to know there other than, at some point in the application process, you'll be asked how many employees do you have, and you'll input that number. And on the back end, we will ensure that you are categorized in the right place against other businesses or charities of like size and like market. So for instance, if you have 4 employees in Wichita, you're not going to compete against a business with 3 employees in Omaha. You're going to compete against businesses with 3 employees, 2 employees, 1 employee in Wichita or in the surrounding area. So it is market specific, and we handle a lot of that on the back end. So no need to be confused on that. The criteria is pretty simple. We have four C's. That's how we've broken it down, which is character, culture, customers, and community. The character being the ethical leadership, the staff, the integrity that you show in your overall decision making at your company. The culture being, how well you unite your values, your mission, and the execution of that in the workplace. The customers being, how you go about ensuring that you have transparent communication, you have transparent problem solving, excellent customer service with your client base. And then the community being, how actively involved are you in the markets that you serve? Do you have a donation program or an end of year volunteer program? How do you engage with the community that you serve? Some helpful tips on the torch awards for ethics front. For some, it's very helpful to prepare their responses offline before they submit and to have somebody else read it. There's a saying that everybody needs an editor. And in a lot of cases, if you stare at something for an extended period of time, sometimes you can kind of, lose the forest for the trees. So it's very helpful to have somebody else take a look at it to maybe, kind of break up that cadence and get another perspective on it. This is really helpful if you also have somebody in a different department in your organization. Certainly we have businesses that have a single employee, so they're not going to be able to do that. But assuming you work in marketing and you have an operations department, it would be helpful to get their perspective so they can help provide some color and some context that we all need because no one person, unless you're in a company of a single employee, has the ability to touch every single department all at the same time. So getting another perspective is usually quite helpful. And if you want to prepare those responses offline, you certainly can. At some point, I will move over to the online application form where you can see that you can save your progress along the way. So you don't need to prepare responses offline. You can do them piecemeal on the online portal. But certainly, if you want to prepare your responses offline, you can. There's a button you'll press early on in the application process where you'll be able to see um, all of the questions that you'll be asked in advance or download that as a PDF. Another thing that's extremely helpful that we have found is to upload supporting documentation. Um, we actually at the Better Business Bureau don't evaluate your applications in any way, shape, or form. We are the facilitators of the process. We pass your applications on to our judging panel. The judging panel is comprised of business leaders in your community, many of whom have previously won Torch Awards. So regularly, right? When somebody wins a Torch Award, we will ask their CEO or the person who was involved in their application process to evaluate, applicants moving forward. So you can really see this as a peer-to-peer kind of recognition program because they are actually the ones evaluating your entries. We lean on our judges quite a bit. We try to do that as little as possible, but certainly there are a lot of applications that these judges are asked to evaluate. And if every single applicant is saying the exact same thing, providing a glowing review of their company, at some point it becomes very difficult, I would imagine, for the judges to be able to distinguish one applicant from the other. And that's really where supporting documentation comes in. It provides color, provides context. It breaks up what can, appear like white noise after a while with regard to, how they're evaluating entries. So um, they don't need to be glossy. We certainly have full-fledged marketing departments that are applying for companies that are large and everything looks very polished and there's nothing wrong with that. But I don't want that to be a hindrance for folks because screenshots are just as effective. Um, little examples of a brochure or a flyer that are you take a photo of are just as much evidence as a 50-page PDF of supporting materials. So don't let that be a hindrance. But also, it's really important to to show your work to the best that you can. And even the most well-written response to the criteria listed on the application form will likely pale in comparison to someone who actually has evidence and can show what it is that they are talking about in their response to the application criteria. If you're in a larger organization, you want to make sure that you're focusing on the local impact you have in the market in which you're applying. So let's say, there's a company called Josh's Landscaping, and I have businesses in, all around the country, and I'm applying for a torch award in Omaha. It really doesn't matter to the judges what I am doing in Orlando, Florida, right? Because that's not the market that they're looking to evaluate. So if you can really hone in on, your impact in Omaha, Nebraska, in this, example, that will be most effective because that is what the judges are looking for. It's great that you have all of these programs and these opportunities in different markets, but this is really meant to highlight businesses that are doing good work in this specific local market. So try to focus on that if you can. Here are some examples of what larger companies have submitted in the past. Not all of the applicants or applications look this way, right? And that's important. But this is just an example of what some larger companies did. You can see a lot of graphic design, doing a good job of showing their work, breaking up the criteria into kind of bite-sized pieces. This is what larger companies regularly do, but this is not a requirement, nor is this the expectation for smaller companies. This is just some examples of previous award winners and what they submitted. So again, there's no one way to apply for a torch award, certainly no one way to win a torch award, but at least on the larger end of the spectrum, this is what some applicants have submitted to increase their chances and to show their work. Some quick testimonials from some of our participating companies. Omaha Steaks, they were one of the International Torch Award for Ethics winners not too long ago. They've been involved in this program, the Torch Awards program, for more than 20 years. And I bring that up because I think that's really a testament to the culture there, that even though they have won, the award, more than 2 decades ago, they still thought it was important enough to come back and really evaluate themselves against their peers. Again, within the last two application cycles. So that's something that we're very proud of, is that this is not a one and done experience. We want this to be an opportunity that people come back to because they want to evaluate themselves as the market changes. And Omaha Steaks is a good example of that. Ryan DeBolt in Comb Over Contracting, he gave us a lovely quote, which was not placed, but we were very grateful to hear it, where he referred to this award as kind of the Oscars of their industry. Uh, Again, this is a really exciting thing, and I think a lot of businesses that do earn this award feel uh, a real confidence afterward and a real excitement to share that experience with their team, because it truly takes an entire team to succeed in this program and to justify success in this program. So Ryan's a really good example of that. And another thing that Ryan's a really good example of is there are a lot of awards programs out there where you apply for it and then you kind of never get feedback and you never are really told why you did or didn't receive the award. Importantly, our program provides feedback to every single applicant, whether you win or you don't. And I think we anonymize the feedback, right, to protect our judges. But we also think that that's uh, our responsibility to provide opportunities for growth and some of that praise that comes from the judges to the applicants, so they can know definitively what it is that they need to work on, what it is they can work on, and what it is that they should be proud of. We also provide scores relative to each criteria and scores relative to the winning average in that criteria, so folks can know exactly where it is that they were either right on the spot or have some room for improvement if they do choose to come back and apply the next year. we've had a lot of examples of people who haven't won 1 year, but clearly applied some of the feedback that they received in future years and later won a Torch Award. So also don't feel like, well, if this year doesn't work out and you don't win a Torch Award, that that bridge is burned and there's no reason to come back. There is always a reason to come back, and you will have even more information at your disposal to improve your application moving forward. And then Nemaha Sports Construction, they were very excited to be able to share this award with their clients and their partners, and a really good example of somebody who is applying for the right reasons and is using it to elevate their standard as a company. All right, some quick information on the timeline. bbb.org/MWP Torch is going to be the URL that everything will flow through. The entry period is through the end of April, April 30th, 2026. We then take about a month to evaluate entries. We will announce the winners in June, and then we have an awards presentation it's in Waterloo, Nebraska, in late September, September 22nd, 2026 to be exact. So again, you've got a lot of time. Um, I will touch on this shortly, but when you apply and click submit on the application, you have the ability to go back in and improve or refine your application leading up to, midnight on April 30th, 2026. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. So occasionally we get emails from folks who, maybe they submit it early in the process and want to go back and change some answers. Absolutely, you can do that. But April 30th, 2026 is really when we need to have everything finalized so we can begin the evaluation period. Moving over to the Spark Awards program, you can think about the Spark Awards program as the Torch Awards model, but applied to business leaders. So this is a newer program for us. We've only had it in place for a few years, but this is really meant to highlight up and coming business leaders and business leaders of a certain age. So, the criteria for the Spark Awards, you need to have a business that has been in operation for at least 1 year by April 30th, and your business leader must be 45 years or younger by that time. The reason being, we did not want to compete with 40 under 40 type lists, but we also think that this is not just about new businesses, but truly business leaders that are of a certain age entering an environment where they are the leader. So you could be a 42-year-old leader of a longtime bank and be eligible for this award. Just like you could be effectively an entrepreneur who's just starting out a business and has had them operational for 13 months. That person would be eligible too. You just need to be 45 or younger, and then you need to have a true leader title. You need to be an executive director, a president, a CEO, an owner. This is really reserved for them. Your company must be located in Iowa, Kansas, Missouri, Nebraska, or South Dakota. Again, you don't need to be accredited, but you need to have a B rating with us. And if you're the leader of a nonprofit, we're going to need to see some documentation. Just like the Torch Awards, there's no fees to apply or receive these awards. This is an opportunity to compete for something that is free. The criteria here, they're just three C's instead of four. It's character, culture, and community. Again, you just follow the prompt, and I'll show the prompt exactly as we get further along here, and you can see exactly what it is you'll be applying for. But follow the prompt. We do hear from judges occasionally that people are trying to shoehorn in applications for different type of awards for this award and just uh, feel like that'll probably pass the smell test. I can promise you it doesn't. The judges have the criteria and the prompt and the rubric up on one screen and the application up on the other. So they are truly evaluating it against what is being asked of the person. So please don't use another type of an award program to model your application off of, because I promise you it will not be successful. Same entry period, March 1st to April 30th. Again, you have the ability to edit, update your application after the fact, so long as you get it in by end of day April 30th. We'll announce the winners in June. All the award winners will be recognized in September. And then the URL for the Spark Awards program is bbb.org/MWP Spark. Some helpful URLs for all of our awards programs. You might see a common theme here with the MWP. It's because we're BBB Midwest Plains. So you can access all of our awards at bbb.org/MWP Awards. The Torch Awards is bbb.org/MWP Torch. Spark Awards, bbb.org/MWP Spark. And the nomination form, you can nominate people year round for all kinds of awards at bbb.org/MWP nomination. I am going to quickly show you what the applications themselves look like, and but before we wrap up here. And again, I appreciate the time. Okay, so this is the Torch Awards for Ethics application page. Um, as you can see here, we need you to scroll down to apply. The application is right here on the page, that bbb.org/MWP Torch. Uh, More information about the categories, eligibility, basically a lot of the things that we were just talking about is available here. When you're ready, you'll click Start. Um, so then, you'll just input your information, the name of your business, whether you're for profit, the contact person, the title of the contact, the street address. There will be a lot of questions in here. Um, there is a section here that you can see where we are asking if your organization has certain variables. For instance, do you have a code of ethics or a whistleblower policy, or do you provide paid time off? The standard answer, right, is no here. Um, I don't want folks to self disqualify based on the answers to these questions because that's really not what it's meant to do. It's just meant to provide some color for the judges to be able to distinguish applicants against each other and also to provide a little bit of guidance on what things you might be able to insert or add later down the road. In a perfect world, this program both seeks to highlight and recognize businesses that are doing things the right way, but it also provides some opportunities for improvement or ways that you can take that one step further after the fact, right? So some folks will be thinking for the first time about, well, what would it be like if I had annual HR training on diversity and sexual harassment? What would that mean for my organization? That's a really good thing, right? We want folks to be able to feel like they are learning something and growing as they apply for this award at the same time that they are hopefully able to celebrate and recognize all of the different hands that have shaped their organization into what it is today. Um, at some point, you'll come down here, and like I said, if you want to uh, save your entry and work on it kind of piece by piece throughout the weeks leading up to April 30th, you can do that. So you just click that save button in the bottom right corner. This is the form link. If you put in your email and click send, it will send you a direct link to where you can kind of pick up where you left off, and you'll go through um, the application that way. Um, On the Spark Awards front, it's going to look very similar, right? You just kind of scroll down and you insert your information. And again, there's going to be a save function. Here's the criteria listed out for you. And if you want to save along the way, you just click that save button in the bottom right corner. We also have an FAQ page, which should provide some more context. And then, if you have any questions for us, Jay Tekesky, JTEKESKY at bbbinc.org is going to be a really helpful contact. Jenny knows, everything there is to know about our recognition programs, and she can certainly point you in the right direction if you have any questions. Certainly, we want you to ask questions and not feel like you don't have all of the information you need to have a successful entry. So please feel free to reach out if you do have questions. Um, So that is, in a nutshell, what our program is all about. Again, this is something that we take a lot of pride in. It's a lot of fun to see businesses of completely different kinds come together and recognize one another and feel, excited about uh, doing business the right way. And we really take a lot of pride in providing this opportunity to folks. One last point that I should have mentioned earlier is sometimes people ask us, how many awards are given out in a given year, and it really depends on the application pool. There are years in which we have, more than 25, again, across 5 states. And then there are years where we have far fewer. And it really depends on the applications. There is not a shoe-in winner if, for instance, you're the only applicant with 1 to 4 employees in Omaha. You do not just by definition win the award, which I think is very important, because that's really not the kind of awards program that we want to run. And the judges don't want to award kind of like shoe-in victors, right? They want to make sure that everyone is deserving of the acclaim and deserving of the recognition. So the scores usually bear that out. We provide a lot of transparency on our scoring system after the fact with how your score matched up against winners in your category and where the opportunities for improvement are. And so you will know exactly what it is that either was successful or wasn't successful in the eyes of the judges. And I hope that that is encouraging, even as many people who apply for awards are obviously looking for a positive outcome. There is something positive to take away, even if you don't win the award in year one. So again, a long way of saying that there's no set number of award winners. It depends on the quality of competition and the volume of competitors in a given year. Thank you again for the time today. Please leave us a review if you enjoyed this presentation. We want to make all of our programming more abundantly available to our service area. And truly, one way that you can actually impact that is by leaving us a Google review, which is where the QR code will direct you. So again, please reach out if you have any questions. We're excited that you are excited and interested in applying for this program, and we look forward to hearing from you soon.